Welcome, Earthnoids and Space Noids alike, to Zeonic Radio, the podcast where we talk Gundam and some more Gundam. Today we got a few interesting topics for you today. First up, I guess I'll explain what this is. Next up, I will be talking about SD Gundam Battle Alliance and my opinion on that. Next up, we're going to have the Witch of Mercury prologue. I'm going to talk about that a little bit. We're going to do a little weekly update with GBO2. And I guess we're going to get into my main subject for today. Does the OG Gundam need a reanimation? Not a reboot. Not a retelling. Well, I guess it would be a retelling. Yeah, well, a retelling with new animations. Same thing. No changes. Just better animation. Okay, so let's get into these topics. Okay, let's start off this explanation of this podcast with an introduction. I'm your host, Shard Type Character. You could also find me on Zeon's Wrath doing GBO2 videos, but that's not what this is about. This is about what this podcast will consist of. I'll be talking about all recent Gundam-related projects, video games, multimedia, anything that's in the news, and a couple topics that I'm going to put the questions up on Reddit and start a discussion, and that'll be like my main topic at the end. So, with that explained, let's get into this. First topic up, we're going to talk about SD Gundam Battle Alliance. Now, I should probably disclose this. I am a self-proclaimed SD hater. I will explain my hate for SD in a second. I will explain why I despise those little big-eyed bastards. Okay, first off, I don't like the way that they look. First off, I've never been a fan of chibi anything really, except for, what was it, in Get Backers, when the main character, well, one of the main characters would get all chibi when something stupid would happen. That was like the only time. I'm not really a big fan of chibi animation. Second reason up is SD Gundam games seem to always get a lot of love and play for like the side stories, things I would like to see in a mainline Gundam game. They always put it into like an SD game, which I can't fully get into most of the time. So that's really why I don't like SDs. It's like surface level. It's not like I don't really hate them. I just don't care for them, and I wish like they would give more love to the mainline series. But I understand that SDs, they sell. People like them. This is a marketing tool, and there was a point where Gundam definitely needed some SD sales. So let's get into this game. Okay, first opinion, just off rip, I like this game. I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it because I seen SD G Generations or whatever, and I seen that there was a turn-based game, and I was like a little excited to get into that. But this is an action game, so there's no turn-based strategy here. You just go in there and hack and slash. It's kind of reminiscent of Gundam Dynasty Warriors. What was it? Gundam Warriors? I can't remember the actual title of that game, but there was like 5 of them, and they were all crack. Pure crack. Space crack. Definitely. You should play them. You should do some space crack. Yeah, those games were fire. This is just like a hack and slash. I would say kind of like a hero shooter, because every mobile suit has their set moves. You can't really alter anything about them as far as like their weapons loadout or their attacks. I haven't beaten the game yet. I will be dropping a full review of the game when I complete the game. But so far, I think I'm only on like Directive 4 or something like that. So I'm not going to get a full review on this. And I haven't really gotten into the multiplayer aspect of the game yet. But this game was surprisingly fun, and it's kind of addictive, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, they did make me a little mad and piss me off by the intro, the intro video. It has you piloting standard sized mobile suits, and then like a system error happens, and like you get transported, I guess, inside the game, and then you turn all chibi. Your suits turn all chibi, which kind of pissed me off. I wish they didn't do that. I wish they just started off SD and didn't tease me with the fact that they could just do that, but they did. But after I got over the seething anger from that display, the gameplay is actually quite fun. It's quite fun. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a big fan of the story. How can I put this? Presentation. Yes, the presentation of the story. Like, it's good in the cutscenes, but because it's a Japanese game, a lot of the in mission story is told through little blurbs. I don't speak Japanese, so I would have to take the time to read what the thing says in English every time something's happened. And usually I'm too distracted in the battle to actually pay attention to anything that they're saying, unless it's like a cutscene. Like, if you stop the action, I can pay attention. That's like one con for me. But from what I've gleaned from the story that I paid attention to, it is kind of interesting. It's a little mystery as to what's going on. I'm not gonna spoil any of the story here because I want you guys to go play it for yourselves. Yeah, this game is pretty fun. I thought it was gonna be super easy because the difficulty level was only easy and normal. So I was like, must be for children. No, actually, normal is kind of challenging. The harder. Like, the further you progress through the game, it does get harder. And I believe, like, if you beat the game, they're probably gonna like hard or like extra hard, which would be a challenge, which could be quite challenging compared to like what normal offers you as far as challenges is concerned. Yeah, no, this game is fun. The way that the battles work is you go out there, you and two partners of your choice. You can unlock different mobile suits, and they come with the pilots they're most known for. I haven't gotten up to like any mobile suits that would have, like, let's say multiple pilots. Like, I haven't unlocked like Wing Zero. Would that come with Katra, Hero, Duo piloted that for a second? Who else? Zex. Like, would it come with all four of those pilots, or would I have to unlock them for each subsequent suit? And like, I haven't experienced like variations yet. Like, is 1 Year War Char its own character compared to Quattro Vegeta, the man, the myth, the legend? Probably. That's usually how these games work. I wouldn't mind if I could just switch the skin though. I wouldn't really mind. Yeah, so your partners, they help you out in battle. They level up with you. You level up, as far as I can see so far, is like, I was only able to level up to like level 15, but I did see that there was like a pop-up for like level caps that you could get materials and expand your stats. I haven't done that yet though. Well, I might have done it because I think that was a part of the, like, when they explained it, it was like a little tutorial that I had to do. So I did do it. I wasn't really paying attention. I'm not gonna lie. This game is fun though. It's fun. Like, it caught me by surprise. I was like, I'm just gonna do this for the channel, get a review. Maybe I'll have a little fun. I played this like one playthrough. But no, it's kind of addictive. If I didn't have other games I was playing right now, this would probably be like all I was doing. Yeah, this is a good game. It's a solid game. I really haven't got to the parts that I want to. Like, I want to run into, like, as I said earlier, I'm a fan of the side stories that I haven't seen. I haven't read any of the manga. I will be reading them and reviewing them on the channel at some point. But I haven't read any of that, so I would like to see where some of these suits that I see in GBO2 come from and experience something from the stories. But yeah, this is a recommendation. You need to play this if you're a Gundam fan. Okay, so this is something I was really excited about. I wasn't excited prior, but after seeing it, I'm definitely excited for it. It is the Witch of Mercury prologue. Okay, so this is going to be like a little mini review. I'm just going to break down. First off, I'm going to go into my thoughts about it prior to watching. Then I'm going to go into story. Then I'm going to talk on the art. Then I'm going to speak about the music / sound design. Then I'm going to give you my thoughts after seeing it and whether I'm looking forward to it or not, even though I kind of spoiled that because, yeah, I am. All right, first up, let's talk about the thoughts prior to watching this anime. Okay, my thoughts prior to watching this anime was I had heard that it was about It was like a school setting. The main protagonist was a female. I'm not upset about that. I heard some people were a little upset about that, but it's about time. Like, other people, other sexes can be the protagonist of Gundam. I mean, what was it? Christina McKenzie? She was excellent, even though she was kind of like, she wasn't really like a very active protagonist in that. If she even was the protagonist, she might have been the antagonist. Now I think about it. I think, it wasn't Bernie. I can't remember the child. Al was the main character. Yeah, Al was the main character. But my thoughts prior to it, I wasn't expecting nothing too much. I mean, after I played, was it GBO2, I want to say Witch Hunt, but that's not the name of it. Code Fairy. I felt they were going to go with a story like that where all the main characters were female. And it was like I didn't dislike it. I just I'm not really a fan of stories where there's heavy emphasis on them being women. Not that that's an issue. It's just I like my strong female protagonists not to constantly mention that they're females. Like, I can tell. I just want you to do cool things and be an interesting character. I don't need you to comment on the fact that you're a woman all the time. Like, it seems like someone's trying to do this from, let's say, a non-genuine place. Like, it just seems like you're just trying to capitalize off of females, and it just doesn't come off well. And maybe that's just from like being an American. Like, I find a lot of American cinema, they do that. They're like, we have a strong female protagonist, let's tell you how strong she is multiple times throughout the movie instead of just showing you. I feel like Atomic Blonde was a good example of just showing you a female be a badass and not make it unrealistic where she's just tossing around 500-pound bulky Hulk-like dudes with the greatest of ease. Like, I know you could do stuff with martial arts, but like, come on, physics is still a thing. But yeah, like with this, I have high hopes. I feel like they're gonna do the main character justice. They will address her being a female, but she's just gonna be a person in this world, which I'm looking forward to. So, all right. So the story so far, once I got into the prologue, it's a nice little setup. What is it? The name of the lab that Eri, the main character, well, her name is Eric Samaya. I'm not even sure if I'm saying that right. Space names are weird. But she's like 4 years old. Her mother is a test pilot in the Gundam, in the Gundam project, right? Where they're utilizing this new technology called Gund format, which is supposed to help humanity acclimate to space. So far from what I've seen from it, it's a lot of prosthetics and artificial organs and things like that. Not against futuristic prosthetics, just off rip. Little side note, I don't know why, but like the gun format kinda makes me feel like there's some dark / devil Gundam vibes going on with the gun format. I might just be reading too much into this because G Gundam is my favorite, and you could fight me over that. I don't care. I have a burning finger. It shines bright. Oh wait, that doesn't sound right. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, so Eri's mother is a test pilot. Her father, I believe, is a test pilot too. Her mother's name is Eleanor. And Eleanor. And she works under, what's her name? Dr. Cardio, who is like a mentor / I guess she saved her life because she said she wouldn't be able to survive without the gun format. So what's going on is they're trying to develop this, I don't want to say like second generation Gundam, because they have 2 other prototype Gundams you could clearly see on screen. But they're definitely different. This one is supposed to be special. I guess it's like because their laboratory started out as just research for the gun format to like help humanity, and then it was bought out by a weapons corporation called, I believe, what is it? It's like something Earth. Oh, Earth. What is it? Let me check my notes right here. What is it called? It is called... Oh my god. There was so many different things in there. I wrote down so much stuff. Where is it? I feel like it's Orcus Earth. Yeah, Orcus Earth is a military contractor. They bought him out. As anything, you try to save lives, and there's like, we could turn that into a gun. Damn. That's not a bad idea. I do love Gundams. That's why I'm here. I can't be mad at them for doing that because I wouldn't have a show. The antagonistic force seems to be something called the Mobile Suit Development Council. From the name, I'm assuming they're in charge of all mobile suit development. And some parties are against the gun format. Their argument is that, okay, the gun format causes something called data storms when you try to use it in mobile suits, and it can effectively kill or harm the pilot. So their argument is that, matter of fact, I'm going to save that for later when I talk about this one specific character, because their argument is kind of dumb. Okay, so our main character, Eri, she is celebrating her 4th birthday. She wants to spend it with her parents, but work just keeps getting in the way. I'm not going into too much detail because I want you guys to watch it. But yeah, so she's a little upset that her parents are spending too much time. They both get called away for separate reasons during her little birthday party. And she ends up in the hangar with the Gundam and Dr. Cardio. I think it's Cardo. Dr. Cardio for now, though. She doesn't look bad for an old broad. Anyway, whoa, can I say that in 2022? Can we still say broads? Oh, wait. Was I past? Has it been past the point where you could just call women broads? I feel like it is. Yeah, I think I'm like 30 years past where it was probably never cool, but like acceptable. But anyway, so she ends up in there talking with the doctor. And this part, I guess I do understand because she's got to be the main character in the future. So she has to get into the robot. But why did you hook her into this system and like allow her to like interface with it on like a I don't know how the system really works, like a DNA level, whatever. It's like a biological system. So I don't know why you plug this 4-year-old into this Gundam. Nothing good comes from that. But she ends up, I don't know, trying to bring the Gundam in life. She's talking to it because she views the Gundam as a child, just like her, because she's a 4-year-old and she's not very bright. But some stuff goes down involving the council. The doctor has to leave. She's left in the Gundam. Her parents come back to where they left her. She's gone. The base is under attack by enemy forces. Now, I seen this coming when they plugged her in, but yo, I don't know if she's like a new type or what, but of course she perfectly syncs with this thing. I forgot to mention earlier, because I'm not going too deep into the story, there is like permit scores which allow you to interface with the gun format in the Gundams to different degrees. I'm going to call it like a power level system. Like, let's just say everybody else can only go Super Saiyan. She's about to go Super Saiyan 2. Yes, she is a child prodigy like all main Gundam characters, except for maybe my man Garou. After war, Gundam X was 50 years too early for people to understand it. It's a masterpiece. It's one of my favorites. But yeah. So I'm not sure if there's new types or what's going on here, but there's some kind of magic going on. She ends up destroying all these mobile suits and they end up fleeing. And that's the end of the episode. Please go watch it for yourself. I know that was kind of a lackluster recap, but I don't want to ruin it for you too much. So, okay. Let's just talk about the art design real quick. The art is beautiful. It really gives me vibes of Eureka 7, which was also one of my favorite animes ever. I wouldn't be surprised if the art director in maybe like mechanical designer. Both worked on that show. I feel like I heard a rumor saying that. I didn't find anything when I tried to look it up, but I feel like they're definitely related. It's beautiful. If you like Eureka 7, you'll like this. I like when the gun format is activated. It kind of gives me what is it, NTD system vibes, how it lights up. It's pretty cool. Next up we have the music. Okay, it's a pretty standard Gundam affair as far as the music is concerned. And by saying that, I mean it's pretty freaking epic. Because like Gundam has a good track record with like that space opera soundtrack. You want a good musical score in the background as your mobile suits dance the dance of death in space. You know? Excellent. So my thoughts on this. Okay, going forward. So like I'm excited. There are some things that have got me less excited. Like the bad guy said I would mention them later. His name is like the main antagonist. What's his name? Where is his name? It's something dumb. Dealing? Whoa, I didn't pick that. His name is Dealing. Whatever. He's the obvious bad guy. He gives his speech talking about the reason why you gotta outlaw gun format in Gundams. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. He believes that people should be the only ones to use tools to kill other people, but the tools cannot kill the people who are using them. And that's where you draw the line. Okay. Humans have constantly used weapons that kill the people who have used them in the past. I'm not saying that that's a good thing to do, that you should be doing that, but yeah, it's not nothing new. It's a weak argument. And besides, they're not even fully developed yet. They're still in the developmental stages. So like if you have, let's say, something like a weapon that is damaging your soldiers by using it, it's not ready for release. They're still trying to work that problem out. I don't know where your argument comes from. It's so dumb. And he gives the most I'm a bad guy speech ever at the end. I'm not going to recap it right here, but it's so dumb. Like literally everyone should have just been like, oh, so you're the bad guy, huh? Okay, so you want to take over the world on something dumb. You probably have like a colony laser or something that runs off the souls of your pawns or whatever, because you know it's usually like they're like, I don't like weapons that kill people, but I'm also doing it. But way worse. Like I've actually cloned people. They're just batteries, like in the Matrix, to fire my orbital laser or whatever. It's gonna be something weird. But I am excited for this show, bad guy apart. I did complain about his speech, but I feel like he's a campy bad guy. Like he plays it straight, but I feel like he's gonna be campy as fuck. Yeah, no, I am looking forward to this. You guys should go check out the prologue. It is free on YouTube. I'll drop the link in the description. Please check it out. I'm looking forward to this. The anime comes out in October of this year. I'm not sure when, but it will be simulcasting on YouTube for Japan and, you know, the rest of the world. So I'm looking forward to this. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. So in GBO2 this week, the update wasn't too much going on. It's the beginning of the month, so it's GBO2 days. They released the Hazel Custom High Mobility form. I wasn't able to drop it yet, but it looks like fun. It definitely looks like fun. To hit the recycle store, we got the Zaku 3 Custom Level 2, Gazon Level 1. I probably butchered that. For the DP store, we got the Kapo Level 1, Striker Custom Level 3, one of my favorite mobile suits. You should definitely pick that up if you have the rank and enough DP to get it. Nothing really too much in the world of GBO2 that's new this week. Seems that they might have fixed some bugs or something like that, but nothing really worth talking about. Just another week in GBO2. that being said, I do host custom matches on Saturday, every Saturday from 2 to 4 p.m. called Faction Wars, where we usually pick a faction and or theme, such as like the 1 Year War, or Zeon versus Federation, or Rage versus Rage, something like that. This week will be Gyms versus Zaku's. It's going to be interesting. All the Gyms, all the Zaku's, just going at it. It's going to be exciting. So that's every weekend, 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can get in touch with me to find out about this on Reddit, or you could just drop a message in the comments. Preferably Reddit, though. Wrath of Space Noids is the home of this channel on Reddit, so drop anything there. I do post whatever the theme for this week on the GBO2 Reddit, too. So you could either stay up to date there, or you could just join my community and be more up to date with the channel. Okay, and here we get into our main topic for today's podcast. Should the OG Vanilla Gundam get a reanimation or a remake? But like I don't really want to say remake, because in remakes they tend to change a bunch of crap. I don't want them to do that. What I want them to do is simply tell the same story as is, but with better animation, because that thing is kind of jank. Now, I don't mind watching it. I don't hate it. I don't hate watching the original, but it's a product of its time, you know? And I feel that newer generations aren't going to be able to get into that. You know, the further we get away from it, like I grew up on like 70s, 80s cartoons in the 90s and stuff like that. They always played replays for like Thundercats, like G.I. Joe, like all those old school cartoons, like all those Hanna-Barbera cartoons, like they all look like that. But I could see newer people not wanting to get into that. Like when I originally saw it as a child, like I was not really into the original Gundam the first time I saw it. It was kind of slow. And my first experience to Gundam was Wing, like most people in North America. So this was like, whoa, this was kind of a buzzkill, but I still watched it because it's got Gundam in the title, and they got me after Wing. They got me. And the next one after this, I believe, was G Gundam, which completely different too. Like, it's I feel like new fans who want to get into UC will want to see this at some point, but it is hard to watch. Like, one of my favorites is Zeta Gundam, and it came out of like, I think like 4 years later. Maybe, don't quote me on that, but it's got better animation, and it still holds up. It still holds up, but still, it can be a slog to watch sometimes if, let's say, the episode isn't really that interesting, you know? So I just want it to be reanimated. Nothing changed, just reanimated. Maybe in the Gundam the Origin art style. I heard a couple people on Reddit said they didn't like the character design. I love the mobile suit design. I don't really care too much for like the character design, as long as they look like the original models. You can update them, tweak them a little bit. I don't really care. Doesn't really matter to me. But I do feel like it's about time. It's been like 53 years. I want everybody to be able to experience Gundam, the original. Now, you can go and watch the compilation movies, which are good, and they do have like some newer animation, but the story's changed. It's not the same thing as the original television series that was aired. Like, they changed a few things. So I wanted to just keep intact the original experience that people got when they watched the show in 1979, but with a newer art style. You know, all the camp, all the goofy 70s, 80s nonsense, just with a better art style. Okay. The reason I opened this question up to the Reddit and like just really thought about it in general is because I am going to be doing a series where I go over every episode of the original Gundam. And I'm dreading watching it just because that animation is it's kind of jank. It's kind of jank. And I'm doing it for the point of making a video about it. I could only imagine what someone who just casually wants to get into the original Gundam would experience. So, open this up to the Reddit community, and I got a lot of good feedback. So, out of the votes so far, open up for a week. I will be giving you an update on what this poll is like at the end of the week when I do my next episode. But right now, we're sitting at 79 votes and 46 in favor of yes, it should get a remake / reanimation, and 33 people were like, no, the original still holds up. So as far as the voting is concerned, I'm not gonna say it's 50-50, but it's pretty close. Like, out of the people that I got opinions for, almost half of them just want it to stay the same. I should have asked how old these people are. That's what I should have did. Like, what age group you're in too. Like, cause I feel like maybe older fans who've already seen it would definitely feel like, nah, it still holds up. And maybe newcomers who like came into the franchise on like something like IBO or 00 Gundam or even Rikajisa and G, like those art styles are so much different from the original Gundam's blocky, like lumbering designs and slow animation styles. Those battles are pretty slow, and I'm not gonna lie, they're not really that exciting to watch in this day and age. I can find enjoyment out of it because like it's the OG Gundam. I've seen it a couple times and I have nostalgia for it, even though it was never my favorite and it never will be. I honestly don't find Amuro to be that compelling of a character in that show. Now, in subsequent media, he's very compelling. Like, I loved Amuro in Zeta Gundam. Char too, like, I didn't really care for them too much in the original. But I would like to rewatch it with a new coat of paint and see how I feel about it again. You know, the origin really, really got me hyped to, like, get back into the 1 Year War era of the UC. You know, but, like, that animation. But if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. It's up to you. My personal opinion is it needs an update. It needs an update drastically. And I've seen this in updated animation throughout games throughout the years. So, and it always looks crisp. All the battles always look crisp when you got the original RX-78 Gundam doing battle with Zaku, Char, any of that with better animation, pristine. I wouldn't mind taking a trip back to the 1 Year War if I can get some new animation. But I don't know. You guys let me know what you think in the comments or on Reddit. That post will be up for longer. I'll probably do like another video about this later on in the week to really get into the comments that other people have dropped and their opinions on this. But that's going to be it for today. This is like my first shot at trying to do a podcast. I know it's probably very rambly. But if you like this and you like GBO2 content or just Gundam content in general, please consider liking and subscribing to Zeon's Wrath. That will be the home of the Zeonic Radio podcast going forward. I do have other projects in the oven, you know. When I get the time, I'll drop those. But they will be coming soon. Mostly, I probably have like 3 other projects I want to drop. They're all dropping sometime this month. But when? I don't know. I'd like to all get them out in 1 week. But if I have the time, I'll do it. If I don't, gotta wait. Luckily for you, you don't know what they are yet. So the anticipation won't kill you. But that being said, see you later, Space Noids.